I'm Larry Menti. Welcome back to Another Thing. Robotics is coming to your home if it's not already there. It's important to know the distinction. Robotics, not necessarily robots, but maybe that too. Dr. Brendan Englot is a professor of mechanical engineering at Stevens Institute of Technology, and he has a focus on robotics. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. All right, take me into the future. How much of my home is going to be robotized? Is that the word? Did I make it up?
Sure, absolutely. I think much more of your home is going to be, a lot of your appliances and devices will be networked, accessible from the internet. Many of them are now, but an even increasingly large number will be in the future. I think you'll be able to access all the information you need about all of your appliances from your tablet, from your smartphone, and you're going to have more interesting ways to display and retrieve that data too.
Much of that is happening now, but I had heard this story that almost everything we deal with is chairs, desks, beds, alarm clocks, the mirror when you go to the bathroom, it's all going to be either a display or it's going to have sensors, and it's all going to be connected. Is that what we're going towards?
Yeah, it's become increasingly easy to obtain sensory information about your daily life because it's been made so small and compact in your smartphones and tablets that we typically carry around with us in our smart watches. And so the next step to make those things a little more mobile and interactive is a pretty short step we have to make. In fact, already we have robots that we can buy for our homes where we simply have the same technology that you'd have in your smartphone or your tablet moving around your home, following you, monitoring things, taking pictures, retrieving information for you. So
vacuuming.
They're becoming very smart these days. They started initially just kind of bumping around randomly into walls until they covered everything in your home. But these days, they're actually building a map of your home and obtaining complete coverage of your floor in a very efficient way. So there's a lot of great new technology that's been brought in through sensors like cameras and infrared sensors as well.
And I heard about there's this pot where you can put in a recipe and it makes certain that you have the ingredients in it'll tell you need more paprika. It'll tell, it senses what's in the pot, which is amazing to me.
Yeah, that, and there are also some new products that can sense the temperature while you're cooking and, help you make adjustments while you're preparing your dinner. And putting these sensors into these objects is not too hard, and it's so easy to synthesize the information now because we can just, write an app that grabs all of the data and presents it to us in a way that we couldn't do before.
I'll tell you a couple of things that I saw that was coming in the future. It's already being made, but they're trying to get it to the point where it can be available to our house. And we talked about this a second ago. The guy gets up in the morning, walks in, goes into the bathroom, starts to shave, and TV shows up in his mirror, all his emails show up in his mirror, the temperature shows up in his mirror. That's all on display in the mirror. So that's available now.
It's amazing just how easily you can get data at your fingertips today. And I imagine as that type of technology becomes lower cost, you're going to find you can have screen displays just about anywhere in your home. Maybe you can just choose the color of your wallpaper from day to day and display any kind of information you want there.
And that's one of the next big things. Like for instance, this desk could be a huge display.
Yeah.
But it'll look like this when we sit down, but just by a wave of a hand or something like that, it'll turn into a huge display.
Yeah, I think we're headed there pretty soon.
That being the case, everything seems to be sensors, right? I mean, that's when you enter the room and when you need information or when you're giving information.
That's a big enabler, yeah.
Will we be wearing those sensors?
I think that's going to increase as well. Smart watches are becoming big and getting bigger, doing all kinds of health monitoring. More and more people are using Fitbits these days to kind of monitor all their health diagnostics throughout the day. Other types of sensors that can monitor and display information like Google Glass, that's gradually going to be catching on, and those types of technologies will be more widespread, I think. Maybe other wearable sensors that could be woven into the fabric of your clothing,
And what happens with the sensors is they're constantly giving out information on you, so a store when you walk in can know what you want because you're wearing this sensor, but it also can take in information, so when you're reading a book or when you're looking at a product, they can tell you if it's cheaper across the street.
it definitely makes you a more powerful negotiator when you can walk into a store and show them that there's a better deal across the street and asking them if they can beat it. But yeah, it is amazing. You kind of have the world at your fingertips.
All this has to be manufactured. All of this has to be programmed. So this is a whole new world of jobs that probably already exist, but I'm sure they're going to need capable people.
Yeah, yeah, and there are some just new sectors in general where products don't exist yet and they're being developed, like these in-home robots that provide telepresence and other assistive features that didn't exist before. They're not really replacing an existing product. They're just creating a whole new sector of the economy. So I think that's going to be very interesting. And some people are afraid that as things become more automated that we're going to lose jobs. But I think there are so many interesting types of innovation that are introducing new products into new sectors of the economy that I'm not too worried about that much.
And one last question. I think you're right. I mean, jobs will just change.
Yeah.
We need different people. We need different skills. Are we ready for that transition?
Well, it's always a little scary, but I think the key thing is we need an emphasis on technology in education, and we need the next up-and-coming generation of
which is what we just talked about. So it all comes together. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming in. Dr.
Pleasure.
Brendan Englot, Professor of Mechanical Engineering at Stevens Institute of Technology. When we come back.
New research shows that pregnant women and new moms who exercise actually boost their baby's brain power.